broadcasting sports.
Peterson takes off for a second. Now the throw is going to come to the plate. It is going to be wide, and the Governors will steal one away. The throw was wide for the pitcher in Brooks, and the Governors steal the win.
It's time for Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Governor Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Camelon, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Doors, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, Jaeger, AGE, First Fidelity, and the State Farm Becky Potsuba Agency.
That one is launched to left field. Charlie Simpson, a 3-run shot. It's a 4-1 lead. His first of the year.
And by Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota. Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Agtegra, Ferding Electric, Envirotech, and Kruger Climate Systems.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and there is your ball game. George Stallion will get the strikeout to finish off the game.
Governor Baseball is also brought to you by Stulkin Peterson LLP, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Gales Gas, First United Methodist Church, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, Beck Motor Company, and May Adams.
As Sun and Shine will launch this out to left field. That was going back to the wall, and it got out, and it was a fair ball. It's a home run for Sun and Shine. A 3-run shot for Sun and Shine, his first varsity home run.
And by American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Bank West, CHS River Plains, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre.
A 1-2 from Lineback. That one taken for strike 3, and that's the ball game. 9 strikeouts for Ridge Lineback. He goes the distance, allowing just 1 run, a 2-1 win for the Pierre Governors in game number 1.
And now, Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR.
And a good afternoon as we welcome you here to Hyde Stadium as the Pierre Governors take on the Huron Tigers. John Winkler alongside Dylan Simmons as we get set for this doubleheader a day later than originally scheduled. The Governors were supposed to take on the Huron Tigers yesterday afternoon, but the rain that came through Sunday and the forecast and the rain that also came last night postponed these games to today. And now the Governors, Dylan, will be looking for 2 wins after a couple of losses last Friday against the Jefferson Cavaliers. Every game feels like a must-win, but for this Pierre Governor team against Huron, who is 1-7, feels like you got to have 2 good games here today.
Yeah, and especially as you're getting into the main stretch of the season, this feels like a game that, or a couple of games really, that you need to come out and have a great performance. Obviously, against Jefferson on Friday, results were not exactly what Pierre was looking for. The biggest thing was the offense. They had some issues putting runs on the board, and you're going to have those stretches from time to time, but it was apparent that Pierre didn't quite have the offense they needed to defeat Jefferson. So the question is, can they find a way to change that, to better that against Huron today? A Huron team that has had issues defending in their own right could give Pierre an opportunity today in this doubleheader.
Yeah, the Governors have lost 4 games so far in the season, and 3 in the last 4 they've lost. They've scored just 1 run, and also been no hit in one of those losses as well. So this offense looks to break out in a big way. The team batting average continues to dip down a little bit, but no better day than today to start making sure those bats come alive and get going here this afternoon into the evening.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the momentum for Pierre could really switch on a dime if they can get a couple wins here. That leads into Friday against Brookings, then Saturday against Brandon Valley. You may be on a rough stretch right now, but it just takes a couple wins to kind of rebuild that momentum, kind of gather yourself, realize, yeah, we're still a good team. We still have what it takes to contend for a state championship. We just got to put some drives together, and I think that's what Pierre's going to look to do today. Just get some consistency back, get some confidence back, and emerge on the other side as a better team.
And while everybody, not everybody, but you look at things and you say, boy, they've lost 3 of the last 4. Things are looking down. Well, they went from first place to 4th place over the last couple days.
Yeah.
That's not a big drop. There's still plenty of season left to go, and wins can put you right back up to the top of the standings.
That's exactly right. And this doubleheader today presents that opportunity to get yourself, even though you may lose some seed points with a couple victories, it still gives you a chance to put yourself back up in that point where you think, yeah, we can win. We can be a team that contends for that state title. So coming out here and getting a couple wins today going to be crucial.
Pierre Governors and Huron Tigers coming up from Hyde Stadium. They're introducing the starting lineups. So we've got that national anthem, and we'll come back and get those lineups to you and have first pitch. It is the Pierre Governors and the Huron Tigers from Hyde Stadium. You listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Want technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at EnvirotechWaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As we welcome you back and get you set for first pitch between the Pierre Governors and the Huron Tigers, we go through our starting lineups. First, it is going to be for the Huron Tigers. Trace Wentz, the center fielder, he will lead things off, followed by Logan Landecker, the left fielder, batting second. Boa Peterson will bat third. He's a shortstop. Davis Chase, the pitcher, batting fourth. Brady Feenstra, the catcher, will bat fifth. Jack Peterson, the first baseman, batting sixth. Cooper Bischoff, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Chase Schuhart, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Gabe Waldner, the third baseman, will bat ninth for the Tigers. And they will be countered with Weston Northrup on the mound for the Governors. And for Weston Northrup, who was excellent his last time out, he's thrown 7 innings so far. He's got a no decision in the one start and the 2 appearances that he has had. 9 hits allowed, 6 runs, all of them earned. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So the ERA is still at 6, but overall he has been excellent on the mound with a whip at 1.57 and a batting average against it 321. The team batting average against it 203 for this Governor team. And Dylan, this is an opportunity where we talked about this morning on the morning show that the Pierre Governors have a little bit more of a have to figure things out a little bit more differently in their pitching. Anybody that pitched today would be available on Saturday. Now you have to make sure you're staying under 80 pitches to be available for Saturday. So maybe the leashes get changed a little bit for these guys.
Yeah, that's kind of the juggling act that Scott Rowie has to have here. He's got to consider the Friday games against Brookings and then the Saturday doubleheader against Brandon Valley. When you put all that together, it's going to be interesting to see what Rowie decides to do.
Trace Wentz will lead things off as we are underway here this Tuesday afternoon. First pitch swinging, flown out towards right center field. Coming in will be the right fielder to make the catch in sun and shine. And one pitch and one out to open up the game here at 4:54. And it will bring up Logan Leyendecker, the left fielder. Didn't even get a chance to start talking about the batting average for either one of the, for the team or for Trace Wentz, but Logan Leyendecker will come to the plate and watch the second pitch come in, and that'll be over for strike one. Leyendecker, 174 batting average so far. He's 4 for 23, 2 runs driven in for this 1-7 Huron team. Their one win, a 5-0 shutout over Washington, as the 0-1 is at the top of the zone, and quickly 0-2 from Weston Northrup to Logan Leyendecker.
And you can tell Northrup is really getting that pace going early on. He's wasting not a lot of time in between pitches.
He'll deliver the 0-2 pitch from the windup. And swung on and missed. The pitch was in the dirt, missed by the tag of Simpson. He'll throw to first, and J.J. Buckholz will retire Leyendecker. 2-3 on the strikeout, and there's 2 quickly down here in the top of the first, and it brings up Bubba Peterson. Around the horn defensively for the Pierre Governors, Ridge Leinbach is out in left, George Stalley is in center, and Sutton Sunshine is in right. Parker O'Brien at third, Dawson Getz at short, Carter Shufflebein at second, J.J. Buckholz at first, and Charlie Simpson behind the plate as Weston Northrup will deliver the first pitch to number 3 man and Bubba Peterson. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it back for strike one. And so far, 5 pitches for Weston Northrup. All 5 have been strikes.
Yeah, his fastball is really impressive right now, and he's delivering it at such a consistent rate. Not a lot of deviation so far, so I think he's definitely locking into the zone early.
0-1 pitch on the outside edge for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on a nice off-speed breaking ball from Weston Northrup. And he'll look for retiring the side, Bubba Peterson, as he digs back in. The 0-2 from Northrup. Kicks from the windup and delivers. That one will bounce in. And no perfect inning for Northrup throwing strikes. Wasn't going to be an immaculate inning. That's going to be 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches, all being 3 strikes. But he still had a chance for a clean inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Peterson. And a 1-2-3 top of the first for Weston Northrup. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the first as the Govs will come to the plate. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the first. No score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. And it is for the Governors. The batting order that looks like this. Carter Shufflebein leading things off. He's a second baseman. Sutton Sunshine, the right fielder, will bat second. Charlie Simpson, the catcher, batting third. Dawson Getz, the shortstop, will bat fourth. Ridge Leinbach, the left fielder, batting fifth. George Stalley, the center fielder, will bat sixth. Trevor Rounds, the DH, batting seventh. J.J. Buckholz, the first baseman, batting eighth. And Parker O'Brien will round out the order, batting ninth, as he is the third baseman for the Governors. Weston Northrup not in the batting order as the pitcher. And they go against Davis Chase. The big, tall right-hander is on the mound for the Huron Tigers, as we'll go through his numbers here in just a moment. But Carter Schuffelbein will step to the plates and get us going here for the first pitch over for strike one. Davis Chase, he has thrown just one inning so far in his one appearance. It was a start. He gave up 7 runs, 5 earned with just 1 hit. As Schuffelbein will shoot this out towards left center field. Going back is a left fielder. It is over his head into the gap. And extra bases for Schuffelbein to kick off the bottom of the first. He will stop at second. 2 pitches and a double for the Governors. Schuffelbein's in score position.
Excellent work by Schuffelbein right on the first at-bat of the inning for the Governors. And that's the thing with Schuffelbein. He can send them far. He's got the power, and he definitely leaned into that one. Great way for the Governors to get going here in the bottom of the first.
Steps in Sutton Sunshine, who is looking to maybe already score that first run. First pitch is over for strike one. And for Davis Chase to close out his stats, 5 walks and a strikeout in that 1 inning that he had. So his ERA is swelled up there to 35 and the whip at 6. But that can easily go down with a strong outing. Sunshine will ground that one sharply foul right through the hole on the left side and out of play. One little gap there here at Hyde Stadium.
I was about to say, they've got 3 great batters to start things off through the Governors. Schuffelbein, Sunshine, Simpson, and of course followed by Dawson Getz. That is a pretty strong top of the order for the Governors right now. And I'm interested to see how Davis Chase handles them and if he maybe considers what happened last time he was on the mound. You talked about that performance he had against Harrisburg a few weeks back, and you wonder, as a pitcher, since that's the last time you're on the mound, can you shake that off and put that in the rearview mirror?
This pitch will be high to the backstop. To third will go Schuffelbein. So it's a 2-2 count to Sunshine, and at third base is Schuffelbein. As the Govs will look to drive in the first run. So far, 4 runs driven in for Sunshine, which came on the inside of the park grand slam that he had. He's got a triple and a home run, 346 batting average.
And he's got great plate discipline, as he's shown time and time again.
This will hit the catcher. It stays in front of the plate as Feenstra was unable to locate it first, but because it was just outside of the home plate circle, it wasn't enough for Schuffelbein to score, but the count does run full now here to Sunshine. 90 feet away is that first run of the game. 3-2 pitch will miss low for ball 4, and the first 2 have reached with a double and a walk. First and third here with nobody out for Charlie Simpson.
And Sutton Sunshine, the team leader for the Governors in generating walks. He's forced 10 of them, now 11 on the season. He just has a way of making pitchers second guess and managing to find a way to stay at the plate, and it's paid off for him this season.
So here's Charlie Simpson. Runners at first and third. Sunshine takes off on the first pitch. That pitch is low. They'll fake the throw, so a stolen base for Sunshine, and it's second and third now. 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Simpson, he comes in hitting 171 so far, but does have a double and 2 triples with 3 runs driven in. As it counts now 2-0 here to Charlie Simpson. Base hit could score 2.
Yeah, Simpson, another one of those guys who is just very solid in the order.
That one will bounce in. He'll get to the backstop, and the first run will come in to score. Schuffelbein will trot in, and the Governors will take a 1-0 lead with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. And Sunshine advances to third as well.
And that's one of those deals that, you know, it's pretty easy to score on that. Pretty routine play, but again, you got to be able to get on base to begin with. So good work by the Governors capitalizing early, and big mistakes from Huron.
3-0 pitch. Simpson was taken all the way. It's at the letters for a strike, and the count's now 3-1. This is new jerseys for the first time that we're seeing. The white jerseys with the green sleeves. Real sharp look for the Governors. As a 3-1 will bounce in. It was picked by Feenstra behind the plate. And back-to-back walks make it first and third again.
Number 7, Dawson Getz.
It is going to be Dawson Getz, the shortstop, that will come to the plates, as we'll have a courtesy runner. As Aiden Johnson, I believe, is the courtesy runner. Aiden Johnson will be the courtesy runner. They do have a couple different numbers with the white jerseys, so it might be a little bit different to us. It's Charlie Simpson, one of those guys that has a different number. He is wearing the same number at 21. Runner will take off. Johnson will steal second as the pitch was wide. And again, picking it was Feenstra, but no chance to make a throw, so another stolen base here for the Governors. And it's second and third, again with nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it's obvious to see, I guess, but Feenstra's having a really hard time locating the baseball or keeping it in front of him.
There's another wild pitch. It will bounce in front of Feenstra. Can't handle it cleanly. Another wild pitch scores another run. There's a runner on third with nobody out, and a 2-0 lead now for the Governors. And Feenstra will make his way out to talk to his pitcher, Davis Chase. And Feenstra's already taken a beating back there. That is it's tough work as a catcher trying to pick everything and block everything in the dirt. But when it's coming wide and inside and bouncing in front of the plate, well in front of the plate, it's much harder to stop every time.
Yeah, Chase is having a hard time getting his breaking ball under him right now, and it's kind of forcing Feenstra into a goalie position where he's got to try to find a way to keep the baseball in front of him, but when it bounces right over your head, then it's going to be hard to do anything with it, and the Governors, it's pretty easy for them, just run right to home plate, and that's what they're doing.
2-0 pitch, that'll bounce in. That's a good block there by Feenstra, and the count's now 3-0. Dawson gets .250 batting average so far. Does have a double and a triple. 8 runs driven in, which is the team high for the Governors. He's got a chance to add that. Now 2 runs have scored, but there have been no runs batted in for the Governors. 3-0 pitch is right down the middle, and again, Getz taking all the way with back-to-back walks by Davis Chase, and there's no reason to swing at a 3-0 pitch. 3-1, that'll come inside for ball 4. 3 straight walks, and again for the 3rd straight walk, makes it first and third here with nobody out, as it'll be Rich Leinbach that will come to the plate.
Yeah, this is the situation that Huron really did not want to get in. Forcing Governors on base early, do your own mistakes, and that's kind of what's hurting the Tigers at this point in time. Pierre's already good enough where they're going to be able to generate offense. You do not want to give them any extra breaks, and right now Davis Chase is doing that.
First pitch will bounce in for ball 1, as it's Feenstra again was able to block it up and scoop it up, as it counts 1-0. This Huron Tiger pitching staff, they have 47 innings pitch coming into today, 48 walks in 47 innings. At least 1 walk per inning. They've already got 3 here with Davis Chase, who has 8 walks and an inning plus. He doesn't have even an inning third. He's got 8 walks in just that 1 inning so far.
Yeah, team ERA for Huron, 5.66 right now. So they've just had issues consistently as a team finding consistent pitching, and it's been something that's been holding them back this season. Obviously, you want your offense to get better, but it all starts with pitching fundamentals, and if you have issues with that, it's going to be tough.
Here's a ground ball that'll be up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. Bobble and fielded and not clean enough, and there will be no play, and a run will come in to score. It'll be an error on the shortstop, but I believe that is an RBI still for Leinbach, because you can't assume a double play would be turned.
Right.
And that run was going to score regardless if the play was made or not. So I think Leinbach does get the RBI, and George Staley will come to the plate. So if he doesn't get the RBI, that's a tough scoring and decision. I think we got to have a talk with the Major League Baseball or the baseball scoring system. Here's a bunt by George Staley. Nobody covering first. The throw to the second baseman, who will just get there in time, as Bischoff got to the bag just before Staley put his foot down. And it is a sacrifice bunt. It'll be 1-4 on the sacrifice, and the first out finally ground by the Huron Tigers, and it brings up the DH, Trevor Rounds.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, a sacrifice bunt. He talked about Major League Baseball, and that's been kind of a lost art in recent years, is the bunt and the use of it. We saw it make somewhat of a comeback.
As this is a line shot, and that's down for a base hit. Trevor Rounds will score 1, and that will be all that they score as Leinbach held at third. And it is now a 4-0 lead here for the Governors. And it's first and third again for Pierre.
As I was saying, they've just found a way with their offense today. And again, they are making Davis Chase's life really hard. But a beautiful shot by Rounds that time, right into center field. And that's a piece of hitting that Pierre wants to see more of as this day goes on. If you can find your confidence with hits like that, if one guy can even do it, it can inspire the whole team.
Here's first pitch to J.J. Buckles. He'll foul that one back out of play to just the left of us. As it counts 0-1, the 8th man to come to the plate. So outside of both Buckles and O'Brien being retired and back-to-back at-bats, we will most likely see this lineup turn over and bat around in this first inning. 4 runs on 2 hits and an error in this inning. This will be another wild pitch to the backstop, and another run will score. Leinbach will make it a 5-0 game, and Rounds will head his way to third. He was struggling to get moving, and he'll be thrown out, trying to go from first to third on the wild pitch, and there's now 2 down here in the inning and nobody on base.
Yeah, that's one that Rounds is going to want back. I think he thought he had the speed, and in that situation, it's good to trust yourself, but it was going to be close no matter what. And the thing was, Feenstra recovered really well, helped them to get him out.
Buckles will foul this one back, and and you mentioned it too. Trust yourself, but he hesitated just a moment. Once you hesitate, and especially from second to third, the throw to third base is a lot shorter than it is the second from behind the plate. So you might as well head back to second, and then if you see that throw, then you can start maybe making your way back to third. But one that again, like you said, Rounds probably wants to have back because he felt like he could get there. Small hesitation cost him a chance to get to third base on that wild pitch. 1-2 pitch to Buckles. Tapped in front of the plate. Goes off the lip, and it will go foul. And almost everything has gone right for the Governors in this inning, but that one didn't go right for Buckles. If he would have been a little bit farther to the right, stayed on the grass in the infield, everything would have been just fine, but instead hit the lip and rolled foul down the third base line, and it remains at 1-2.
The lip is the enemy of baseball players everywhere. And like you mentioned, Buckholz was praying. He was like, oh, man, please stay in, please stay in. Just quite didn't. But if it had, it would have been an easy single.
1-2 pitch again. That'll bounce in. Another 2-2 count here to Buckholz. As Buckholz hitting 111, still trying to get that batting average going north. He's 2 for 18 so far. Was at the beginning of this at-bat looking for his first RBI of the season. But now with nobody on base, he'll foul that one over. Still could get that RBI if he puts one over the fence somewhere.
Yeah, he's coming off a busy day Friday as well against Jefferson. Pitched 5 2/3 innings against the Cavaliers in the first game. And that 1-0 slugfest. Didn't get to bat around as much.
That one will miss low, and the count's now 3-2. That's been the thing too. Rich Leinbach threw a couple weeks ago, or a couple games ago against the Mitchell Colonels a week ago, and end up that 2-0 loss and that no-hitter for the Colonels. This will be missing low for ball 4, and it will bring up the 9th man to the plate in Parker O'Brien. And it will be then Leinbach, who threw 6 2/3 innings and gave up those 2 runs. He did everything to help his team win, but fell on the wrong side. Same for J.J. Buckles. Did everything to help his team win, but fell on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's sometimes just a couple runs or a couple mistakes here or there.
This will get to the backstop, and to second easily will go Buckles.
As I was saying, it's just a couple of things here or there that can sometimes determine whether or not it works out for you. And again, pitching-wise, that's something that Pierre's looking to shore up in this game and the next game as well today.
Already a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the first on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. O'Brien will swing and miss at that one, and the count's 1-1. Here to the number 9 man in the batting order. 231 batting average, 6 for 26 so far. 1 run driven in for O'Brien. That came in that first game of the season, or first doubleheader of the season against the Stevens Raiders. That will bounce in. Davis Chase falls off the mound, looks back and maybe didn't find the right footing. But the count goes to 2-1. Base hit could make this a 6-0 lead here for the Governors in the bottom of the first.
And O'Brien's had those good games. He had a 2-hit performance against Aberdeen not that long ago. So he knows how to get some consistency rolling with the bat in a game. And today could be an opportunity to do that, as most of his teammates have.
3-1 is the count to O'Brien. Davis Chase from the stretch delivers that 3-1. That will be behind O'Brien, and another walk issued as the 5th walk issued in this first inning, and it rolls the batting order back over to Carter Shufflebein. As Shufflebein, who doubled on the first pitch of the inning, will dig back in. Another double could score 2 runs in this first inning.
Right now for Huron, the biggest thing is just find a way to get out under any circumstances. Because if you fall down 6 or 7-0, it's already bad enough. You don't want to make it any worse.
Yeah, you're already behind the 8 ball on a team that doesn't score a whole lot of runs at 22 in 8 games. I mean, you're averaging just over 2 runs per game, under 3 runs per game, and you're down 5-0 in this first inning. So it's a long road back already for the Tigers, but they've got to put an end to the bleeding here in the bottom of the first. Counts 2-0 here to Shufflebein. Davis Chase will come set from the stretch. That'll miss low again. The count's now 3-0. Only 3 guys on the bench for Huron. They're batting straight 9. No DH, where the Governors have the DH rounds hitting for Weston Northrop. But only 3 guys on the bench doesn't give you a whole lot of options to go somewhere else. 3-0 pitch will bounce in, and that will load the bases, and we'll have a mound visit. And will that be the end of the day already for Davis Chase? Bases are loaded. Now 6 walks in the inning from Davis Chase. And a mound visit upcoming here for the Huron Tigers.
Yeah, Jason Babel, the head coach, coming out. Unfortunately, this has been kind of reminiscent of what Huron saw with Davis Chase's last time up against Harrisburg a few weeks back. It's been kind of the same story, and this is about the last place you want to be against a Pierre team that not only has struggled offensively as of late, but they don't give up a lot of runs. Their team ERA has been great all season long, and when you're already playing to their strengths and it's this early on in the game, it could be a long one if you don't take care of business soon.
Ridge Leinbach had an RBI on his E6 that he reached on, and we're giving him an RBI because the run was going to score, you know, because assuming there was no double play, and you can't assume a double play return, so that's why I give him the RBI. But if you take that one away, Trevor Round's going to base hit to score 1 run. Everything else of the 5 runs, so the 3 other runs, have come in on wild pitch so far. First pitch will miss low to Sun and Shine as Davis Chase is still in the ball game. 6 walks in this first inning, 2 hits allowed and an error. A sacrifice bunt, and Rounds, who was thrown out trying to take will go from first to third on a wild pitch. The count's now 2-0 here to Sun and Shine, who drew a walk in his first trip to the plate.
And you just wonder how much of a leash will Jason Babel have on Davis Chase at this point in time, especially with the bases loaded. You can never be too careful in this spot.
2-0 pitch. That one's over for a strike. Looked like Sun and Shine was taken all the way. And for the Huron Tigers, too, and, you know, the Governors are in the spot, well, and don't have the full, and I can look up the schedule here a little bit differently, not the way I had the schedule. 2-1 pitches upstairs, and the count's now 2-1, or make that 3-1, excuse me. And you may be in the same spot like the Governors are, and you can't really afford to burn a lot of pitchers today because of what is still upcoming over the rest of this week. 3-1 pitch will miss low for ball 4. 7th walk issued. This will be an RBI for Sun and Shine, and it's now a 6-0 lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and it just continues to balloon now. You got a 6-0 lead, and again, Davis Chase just having an issue finding the zone, and it looks like Huron's going to probably send somebody to the bullpen.
That'll be out on the inside corner for strike 1 here to Charlie Simpson. Huron does play Brookings on Thursday before the Bobcats host the Governors on Friday. That's at the top of the zone to Simpson. It's now 0-2 here for Davis Chase. And then Jefferson will be the team on Saturday. So they're in a spot where, again, you can't really afford to burn a lot of pitchers because you've got another 4 games before Saturday. 0-2 pitch. There's a swing and a miss. It'll eventually put an end to this inning. But 6-run score in this first inning. On 2 hits, there was an error and 3 men left on base. But the Govs strike for 6. They have a big lead after 1 over the Huron Tigers. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Swing for the fences with a great deal from Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Whether you need a powerful truck, a fuel-efficient sedan, or a spacious SUV, they've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road and in the game. Don't strike out. Stop by today or visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, where the best deals in town are always in play.
Back here at Hyde Stadium, it is the top of the second, and the Pierre Governors have a 6-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard. There is activity on the left field bullpen. Oakley Anderson is the one catching the guy that is throwing. And so it can either be Tommy Martin or Nolan Staley because they started in that last inning. And Tommy Martin has thrown 4 2/3 innings. Nolan Staley has not thrown at all yet. So by process of elimination right now, just assuming that it probably is Tommy Martin that is the one that is warming up in the bullpen out in left field.
You would assume so. He's got a season-high innings pitched of 2 versus Harrisburg, but that was all the way back on April 8th. It has been a while for him, 3 weeks.
First pitch will just miss outside for ball 1 to Davis Chase as he will look for a redo in the bottom of the second if he does go out for that second inning. But Weston Northrup was 1-2-3 in that top of the first. That was one of the few balls that he has thrown. That might have been the second one that he threw for Weston Northrup. And the count's now 1-1 here to Davis Chase, who digs in with a 182 batting average. This Huron team hitting 188 as a team, and that one will miss just low below the knees, and the count's 2-1. Chase with 2 hits and 11 at-bats does have 2 runs driven in so far for the Huron Tigers as he hits in the cleanup spot. There's a pitch that's grounded right back up the middle, just over the top of the second base bag and into center field, and it will be a leadoff single here for Davis Chase. A runner on first with nobody out in the top of the second.
And that is a huge start for Huron here in this top of the second. You've got to have just something go your way, and Davis Chase able to provide some kind of spark. If you're going to inspire your teammates, you got to have one good thing go right for you, and that's exactly what Davis Chase just did.
Here's the catcher, Brady Feenstra. Feenstra, so far on the season, he is hitting .273 with a double and an RBI in his 3 hits so far. First pitch swinging, popped up left side. O'Brien trying to make a play over at the Huron bench, and he was able to reach forward and just couldn't make the play. He needs about another 3-4 inches. And he probably would have been able to lean far enough over to make that catch.
Well, if he was Stretch Armstrong, he probably could have grabbed it, but it was a heck of an effort. I mean, he ran full speed towards the Huron dugout and extended out that arm, just couldn't get a hold of it.
And ran pretty hard into that railing, which is padded, but doesn't feel great to run near full speed into it. Now showing bunt. Feenstra will pop it up. It'll be sliding catch from O'Brien. He'll throw back to first. A great pick by Buckles as Davis Chase was there in time. But there's one down, and O'Brien's all over the field, and you could tell he was feeling it because he felt like he was going to try. I mean, really had no chance at getting Chase over at first, but threw it anyway, and a great pick by Buckles. Otherwise, that could have been disastrous for the Governors.
Hey, he was excited, and like you mentioned, he was feeling himself. When you got that kind of adrenaline, sometimes you make rash decisions, and thankfully it worked out okay for Pierre.
First pitch swung on and missed to Jack Peterson, the first baseman. It was a little bit of a wild sequence there for O'Brien. And again, one that's because he just made that play. He was looking for that double play, but Buckles was able to bail him out. This will be skied out towards left field. Coming in will be Trevor Rounds. And there's 2 down. Make that Rich Leinbach. He'll make the catch, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the second, and it brings up Cooper Bischoff. Dawson gets, I think the way the ball came off the bat of Peterson, that Getz thought it was going to go out to center, but it was hooking back or slicing back towards left field because he was running up towards center field where George Staley could have made that play, but it was right to Leinbach out and left as the first pitch to Cooper Bischoff is fouled straight back. The wind is blowing in, which also forced that ball maybe a little bit farther back to left field.
I think it did hook that baseball just a little bit, but thankfully Leinbach, Johnny on the spot, making the play.
0-1 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 1-1. Last Monday, for the most part, it did kind of swirl and change direction towards the end of the game, but wind was blowing straight out towards center field or towards right field in that Mitchell doubleheader. The 1-1 pitch is upstairs, and the count's 2-1 now here to Bischoff.
And this Huron team, we've talked about their defensive struggles, but offense has been something they've also been trying to catch up on just a little bit as this season has moved forward. They have scored no more than 5 runs in a game all season long, and that lone 5-run performance was back against Washington, their lone win of the season, 5-0. Otherwise, it's been tough sledding and blowouts most of the way through, and that can be tough on any team. And John, as a former baseball player, you probably understand that, but you kind of just got to come together and realize that there's still a lot of season left, a lot of things that can change, and a lot of things that you can quickly pull in your favor if you execute right.
Count is full here to Cooper Bischoff, and that what really is tough in baseball is that, you know, when you're down 6-0, you feel like everything's against you. The other good thing about baseball is there's no time limit other than, you know, innings limit. Here's a ground ball back to Weston Northrup. He will field and throw to first to retire the side, and we'll have to continue that thought into the bottom of the second. No runs on the hits, no errors, and a man left on base. After an inning and a half, it is a 6-0 lead for the Pierre Governors over the Huron Tigers. Back after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
As we welcome you back and get you set for the bottom of the second, Pierre Governors with a 6-0 lead, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, that is right. And the bottom of the second is 4, 5, and 6. Usually 4, 5, and 6 in the bottom of the second means it was 1, 2, 3 in the first. But they had 12 guys come to the plate, scored 6 runs on just 2 hits. So that's why we're at 4, 5, and 6 the second time through the order here in the bottom of the second.
It's a weird game, John, but that's good news for Pierre. And like you mentioned, they've been firing on all cylinders so far, but in some ways, they've kind of just been capitalizing on Huron mistakes from the mound, and now we'll have to see if the second inning's any different.
Davis Chase will get a chance to start this second inning, and this first one quickly shot foul the left field side and out of play from Dawson Getz, who walked in his first trip. It was 6 walks the first time through the order, and a total of 8 walks in that first inning from Davis Chase, as that'll miss low, and the count's 1-1. So only Carter Schuffelbein, who is 1 for 1 so far. Simpson, who's 0 for 1. Ridge Leinbach, 0 for 1 with a error. And then Trevor Rounds, 1 for 1 with a single. Those are the only guys with official at-bats the first time through the order, as it counts 2-1. That includes Sutton Sonnenschein, 0 for 0 with 2 walks and 2 trips to the plate.
Yeah, it's been that kind of game for Pierce so far. And the biggest thing is you see Chase firing another ball is that he's got to find a way to find the zone. Whatever he's got to do to adjust his pitch right now, he's got to find a way to find the zone, because the Pierre batters, they're not flinching at the plate. They're not reacting to the baseball quite as much as I'm sure Chase would like them to, because it's almost expected to be a ball. So he's got to find some way to change that up.
This will be grounded up the middle. Slow roller. Second baseman will slide. The throw to first will be just off the glove of the first baseman. And the second will go Dawson Getz. He will slide in safely. It is for sure a throwing error on the second baseman in Bischoff, but could be a base hit and an error to get Getz to second. That's a tough play to make. He might have been safe. We'll see maybe the official scoring if that's a hit and an error, but it for sure will be an error for Getz to get to second.
Yeah, it's at least a throwing error for sure. It was bang on whether or not he would have gotten there with the hit itself. We'll have to wait for the official score's decision on that one, no doubt.
First pitch will miss low for ball 1 to Ridge Leinbach, who reached on an error. Here's the 1-0. This will be flown out towards right field. Coming in will be the right fielder. Diving and can't make the catch. Leinbach will round first. To third will go Getz. And then it will be first and third with nobody out, and the Governors are right back in business again. George Staley will come to the plate.
And it just continues for Pierre. And Ridge Leinbach is not a guy that you want to test too much, because he can absolutely swing that thing into the outfield. And like you mentioned, he found the soft spot in the defense pretty easily, able to put himself on base and send Getz all the way to the hot corner. And right now, Pierre is, again, right where they want to be.
This will be picked at the plate again by Feenstra, who has been very, very busy in this first part of the game. First and third Nobody out here in the bottom of the second.
Leinbach almost had a second RBI on that last swing.
This will bounce in. Another block there by Feenstra. Scoops it up. Counts 2-0. Yeah, if there had been 2 outs, it was definitely an RBI. I guess would have been off with contact, but not wanting to get double off at second, especially with nobody out. Want to make sure that ball dropped before he took off for third. That one will be at the bottom of the zone for a strike, and the count's 2-1 here to George Staley, who had a sacrifice bunt. The lone difference of either a single walk or error, he ended up having a sac bunt, so he's still 0 for 0 so far. This will be fouled at the plate, and the count's now 2-2 here to Staley.
Staley wasn't initially a starter for the early part of the season, but he's come into his own more and more as this year has progressed, and now getting a lot more time in the outfield, making the most of it.
And dealing with a little bit of a non-contact injury that kept him out of the starting lineup for the first little bit. He also had a hamstring leg issue after football, as it counts 3-2, that he dealt with for trying to get through all of winter and get back into game shape. 3-2 pitch, runner takes off. This will bounce in for ball 4. Another walk issued by Davis Chase, and it's now the bases loaded with nobody out. And I believe we'll see here, we have another mound visit. No movement in the dugout right now, although it does look like we are going to see that pitching change take place. So that will be the end of the line for Davis Chase with the bases loaded and nobody out. We'll come back and tell you the change after this. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
As we welcome you back, Tommy Martin is now on the mound here for the Pierre Governors, make that for the Huron Tigers against Pierre Governors, as he will deal with the bases loaded and have 7, 8, and 9, Trevor Rounds, J.J. Buckles, and Parker O'Brien. And for Tommy Martin, 4 2/3 innings, all coming in relief in the 3 appearances he has had. He's given up 12 hits, 16 runs, 13 of them earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. So that ERA also at 19.5, and the whip at 3.64. Batting average against at 480. So knowing that, Dylan, there's going to be, and I don't want to say that the Governors will be freely swinging, but knowing that he is giving up a lot of hits so far in 4 2/3 innings, he will put it in the zone for you to try and get base hits. As Rounds will swing at the first pitch, floated out towards right field, coming in, diving again, and unable to make the catch is Schuhard. 1 run will score. A second run will come in to score. It'll be a 2 RBI single for Trevor Rounds. And it's now a 8-0 lead for the Governors here in the bottom of the second inning.
You said something about them wanting to make contact, John?
Yeah, didn't take long for that first swing from Trevor Rounds. Sally goes to third on that play as well, so Rounds now with 3 runs driven in this first 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 2. And it's J.J. Buckles who drew a walk.
And that was a great piece of hitting right into right center field that time. And Rounds just continues to get better and better as this season moves forward. It was interesting, too. He had a single, double, and triple entering this game. And those were his only hits of the season, but he can add a second single to his collection with that one right there.
And with 3 runs driven in, it wasn't all on every single hit, but his 3 hits, he had 3 runs driven in. Well, in 2 hits, he's already doubled his RBI total with those 3 runs driven in, going 2 for 2 so far in 2 innings. Here's the 2-0 now to J.J. Buckles. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 3-0. On deck is Parker O'Brien. Then it's back to the top of the order for Carter Shufflebein to try and get his 3rd plate appearance in the first 2 innings. Right now, it's what the doctor ordered for this Governor team, who is looking to break out in a big way after not scoring many runs over the last 4 games, really the last probably 6 games, you can say, or 5 with the one game being rained out.
Yeah.
But they just really haven't been able to score a lot of runs, and this will help provide a lot of confidence for this Governor team. Runner takes off, swing and a miss by Buckholz. Count is now 3-2, and stealing second without a throw will be Rounds. And it's Buckholz with a chance to maybe drive in 2 runs with a base hit.
Now you mentioned it. The Govs have scored 3 or less runs in 4 of their last 5 games. This is healing for them.
Buckholz will fly this one to right field. Long run for the right fielder. Coming over, making the catch. Both runners will tag. And I believe they are saying it was a catch made by the right fielder. Looked like he did drop it in Schuhard, but the out is caught. Both runners tag. The run does come in to score, and the other runner in Rounds goes over to third. It was on the transition of trying to pick it out of his glove and throw it in. So it makes it now a 9-0 lead for the Governors and a sac fly RBI for Buckholz. And there's one down here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting play that time. It looked like he had it in his glove for a second, then I kind of lost him out of my line of sight underneath the window seal. I couldn't tell if he maintained control. He probably had a better view at it than I did.
That one will miss, and it's now 1-1. Yeah, what really, again, I'm assuming that he dropped it because I lost sight of it with the wall over here. But
yeah,
going down to pick it up and the out still standing, it was all about trying to make the play to throw it back in. Here's a ground ball by O'Brien. It'll be a productive out as the run comes in to score to make it an even 10-0 lead for the Governors. An RBI ground out for O'Brien, 4-3. And there's 2 down now here in the bottom of the seconds. Nobody on base for Carter Schuffelbein, who is already 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. 3rd plate appearance in 2 innings. Schuffelbein will foul this one back. Another 4-run inning here for the Govs. Take a 10-0 lead, and right now, no scoring the rest of the way, which, you'd love the Govs to tack on in the 3rd and 4th inning, but have already hit that 10-0 advantage. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop, who stays down at it. Bubba Peterson will throw to first, and that will retire the side here in the 2nd inning. But 4 runs do score in the inning. That is with 2 hits, 1 error, and no one left on base. 2 complete here at Hyde Stadium, and a 10-0 lead for the Pierre Governors over the Huron Tigers. Back after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
As we welcome you back here at Hyde Stadium, it is a 10-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard for the Governors over the Huron Tigers. 8-9-1. Chase Schuhartz, Gabe Waldner, and Trace Wentz. 8-9-1 for the Tigers as they just are getting through that first time through the order, which isn't terrible through the top of the 3rd. The Governors are already into their 3rd time through the order. Here's a ground ball that'll eat up. Dawson gets it short. It'll be an error. He maybe stepped and lost his footing a little bit that slowed him down or put him off a little bit of trying to make that play, but it is an error that'll be charged against. First error by the Governors here in the game, and it's a runner on first with nobody out to kick off the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, Dawson gets usually pretty disciplined when it comes to those ground balls, and like you mentioned, I don't know if the lip or the ground in the infield may have caused him to lose sight of that one or what the situation was, but obviously an E6, and again, a break that Huron desperately needs. but you've got to take advantage of that opportunity, and that's been the thing for Huron. They've been able to get a couple guys on base, but they have not been able to follow up on that. That's what they've got to start doing in this third inning.
And they had the leadoff man reach in the top of the second. Did not move past first base. Here's a line shot, and that'll be into left center field for a base hit. First and second here with nobody out. So throw quickly comes back in from Lineback, and the bottom of the order getting the job done right now for the Tigers. First and second with nobody out as we go back to the top of the order for Trace Wentz.
And that was a great shot by Waldner that time. Waited on the fastball, put it right into left center field. Nothing Getz could do about it. And again, this is what I was talking about. Stringing together something, a little bit of momentum. It's contagious in baseball. It just takes one hit sometimes to kind of flip the switch and flip the mindset. See if they can keep it going.
First pitch at the knees for strike one to Trace Wentz, who flew out to the right fielder Sutton Sunshine in the first pitch of the game. And on the flip side of what Dylan just said, it's one pitch that can kill the momentum. This will be thrown off of the runner on a pickoff attempt and easily back safely is the runner on second and Schuhart. But a ground ball and a twin killing devours any momentum that the Tigers are having. So the game of baseball turns on its head pretty quickly. And this inning looks promising for Huron right now, but Weston Northrup and the Governor defense, one ball on the ground could easily change things. This will be fouled back right in front of us, and the count's remaining at 0-2 here to Trace Wentz.
I may have asked you this before, but have you ever had a baseball fly right into the press box, John?
Nope.
That has happened to me once.
Did you make the catch?
I did not, but you see, I couldn't see it. It kind of rattled in behind me. I was in Alaska calling baseball, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
This will be flown out to right field, and for the second time, Wentz will fly out to the right fielder, Sunshine. There's one down here in the top of the third, and it will bring up number 2 man Logan Leyendecker, who struck out swinging his first at-bat. I've been close a couple times, and I say it's the battle, and it's an ongoing battle every single year is when will I ever get a foul ball to try and make the catch in the press box or while on the air. Here's a ground ball to be off the glove, slowed down, step on the bag by Getz, the throw to first. That's a 1-6-3 double play, and that will take us to the end of this top of the third inning. 1-6-3 kills the inning, and the Governors, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. Lead at 10-0 over the Huron Tigers as we head to the bottom of the third. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag chemical and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag chemical and seed needs. Kyle 605-280-8710 or Tony 605-280-4771.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
As we welcome you back, bottom of the third, 10-0 lead for the Pierre Governors over the Huron Tigers, as it is going to be Sutton Sunshine, Charlie Simpson, and Dawson Getz, 2, 3, and 4 here for the Govs. As we officially close the book on Davis Chase, who threw just 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, 9 runs, 5 of them earned, 8 walks, and 1 strikeout for Davis Chase in 63 pitches. So he is really struggled to start this season in the 2 appearances he has had, as the first pitch is outside for ball 1 to Sutton Sunshine, who is at the plate for the 3rd time and is still 0 for 0 in this game. It's 2 walks so far for Sunshine. Does have an RBI with the bases loaded walk that he had in that bottom of the 2nd inning. Make that the bottom of the 1st inning. There's a line shot into left field, down for a base hit, still lead off this 3rd inning. He's now 1 for 1 and been on base all 3 times.
Pretty good stat line to start things out for old Sutton. He's making the most of this game, isn't he?
He is, that's never can complain about 3 on base 3 times in the first 3 innings of a game.
He just continues to develop more and more as this season moves on as well.
This will be a line shot to right field, right to the right fielder. He'll make the catch. The throw back to first is going to be in time for a double play. Schuhart made the catch in right. Sun and Shine was too far off the bag, and they will be doubled off, and there's 2 quickly down. Now here at the bottom of the 3rd inning. That's 2 pitches and 2 outs the unconventional way.
I don't know if we can chalk that one up to the announcer's jinx, but Sutton, I think, expected that one to land before it got to Schuhart, and it just kind of just kept carrying and carrying. I don't know if the wind may have assisted with that as well, but it kind of took Sutton off his game a little bit. Couldn't get back to first in time.
Dawson Getz will take ball 1, so there is no 3-pitch inning nor 4-pitch inning, as that'll be taken high for a ball, and the count's now 2-0. I don't know if Getz fully was aware. I think maybe Coach Ryu was telling him to take that first pitch. It's now 3-0, and either way, it's 3 straight misses for Tommy Martin on the mound. But when you have the first 2 guys go down in 2 pitches, it's a lot easier to understand to take the pitch. But when you have a base hit on the first pitch, 3-0 and a green light for Getz, and he will fly out to the right fielder in Schuhart. So they are retired, not so much in order, but the minimum face in the bottom of the 3rd, and it's still a 10-0 lead for the Governors over the Huron Tigers as we head to the 4th. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Beck Motor Company is proud to sponsor the Pierre Governors baseball team this season. Just like the Governors, we believe in hard work, dedication, and striving for excellence every day. As these young athletes give it their all on the field, Beck Motor Company is here to deliver top-quality Chevy and Cadillac vehicles and unbeatable service. We're committed to supporting our community, and there's no better way to show that than backing our hometown team. Visit Beck Motor Company today and find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle. www.beck-motors.com. 605-224-5912. Go Govs!
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, top of the 4th, and it is 3, 4, and 5. Bubba Peterson, Davis Chase, and Brady Feenstra. Anybody reaches base, Jack Peterson will come to the plates. 10-0 lead for the Governors here in the top of the 4th. Weston Northrup so far has thrown just 29 pitches through 3 innings, which is a good spot to be at, and both with a no runs scored, both in this game and for what's upcoming for the weekend, because if the Govs do need some extra pitching or just want to go back to Northrup, they certainly can at this point. Here's a ground ball over to Getz. That one almost took a high hop on it, but he fields and throws the first and retires Bubba Peterson to kick off the top of the 4th. That will bring up Davis Chase.
Yeah, this time Getz didn't let it get away from him. Pretty routine ground ball, and Getz was ready for it. That's a little bit of redemption for him.
It's actually going to be Tommy Martin that's going to be hitting, I believe. Yeah, Tommy Martin is the one that is hitting because Martin came into the game and Chase does come out, does not stay in defensively. That was just a straight swap.
Right.
It is Martin now that is hitting for Chase. So the first pitch is missed for ball 1 here to Tommy Martin, who is hitting 111 so far, 1 for 9 on the season with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. This will be flown right back, right over the top. And then all of a sudden the crowd mic starts to go down as it gets hit just above there. Might have actually got stuck back up there. So it is now a 1-1 count.
I'm telling you, John, it's going to happen at some point.
I've been saying that for 5 years.
Well, that one was pretty close.
That will be missing low, and the count's now 2-1. Try and get the crowd mic back up here again and reset.
Did it hit the crowd mic?
It didn't hit the crowd mic, but because it shook the building when it got hit. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Shufflebine will field. His throw to first will be in time. And so there's now 2 down here in the top of the 4th, and it brings up Brady Feenstra. So it was back in the spring of 2021, I believe, that the Governors were hosting the region round, which then back then you had 4 teams in a pod, and you had to win those 2 games to get to the state tournament. And they were playing Brandon Valley in the regional championship game. This will be lined into left field, down for a base hit. Feenstra is now 1 for 2. But it was Greg Dean, who did so many games with me, well over 100 games, probably closer to 200 games when it was all said and done. That he was, we were talking about what your favorite memory in baseball was, and at that moment, a foul ball starts coming this way, and I go, this might be my favorite memory, and I reach out, and you can see it still on camera on the KCCR Sports. The ball just misses my outstretched arms by maybe a couple inches, and I almost caught that foul ball right as we were talking about, and we're also making the comment of, catching a foul ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It almost happened just perfectly, and just didn't work out. Didn't make the catch. Counts 0-1 here to Jack Peterson. The lefty flew out of the left fielder his first time to the plate. He'll swing and miss, and the count's now 0-2.
Huron using a courtesy runner at first base. Oakley Anderson is coming in for Brady Feenstra, excuse me.
Feenstra, the catcher, get his gear back on and ready to go for that bottom of the 4th inning. Regardless of how quick this half inning goes or not, this will bounce away from Simpson, and there'll be a runner on at second here with 2 away in the top of the 4th. 10-0 lead for the Governors. They will have 5, 6, and 7 in the bottom of the 4th to try and tack on more runs. And if they keep this 10-0 lead, they will have an opportunity then to win it in the top of the 5th without necessarily needing to score in the bottom of the 4th. There's a swing and a miss, and Northrop will make that happen. 4 scoreless for Northrop. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th, 10-0 lead for the Pierre Governors over the Huron Tigers. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. You'll find a great selection of quality new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles, plus a great selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take good care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and body shop, along with a friendly financing team that'll do their best to get you into your next new or pre-owned vehicle with financing that fits your budget. Wagner Auto is your local, family-owned, full-service dealership in Pierre. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
Bottom of the 4th, it is Pierre Governors with a 10-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. Rich Leinbach, George Stalley, and Trevor Rounds will be the first 3 hitters. Leinbach is 1 for 2 with the single. He did have an RBI on that E6 that he reached on in the first inning. Govs can add on to this 10-0 lead, and if they do so, that will just give a little bit more wiggle room to win in 5 innings. As Leinbach will shoot the first one out towards right field. Will it stay fair? Hit will slice just foul. That was in the triples corner of the right field foul pole. That Leinbach was looking for extra bases in that first pitch, but it is just a long strike.
Yeah, I think you would have had a chance at a stand-up triple if this thing goes fair, because it was way out there in the right corner. And with Leinbach's speed, he would have had a great chance to probably get all the way to third. Just sliced foul.
324 down the right field line here at Hyde Stadium. That will miss low. That was at the bottom of the zone. That counts now 0-2.
That's got to be the most irritating feeling as a hitter when you've got something so close to being a great leadoff hit, and then it just goes awry.
There's a swing and a miss, and so Leinbach, who almost had a leadoff triple, will strike out swinging. There's one down here in the bottom of the 4th, and it brings up George Stalley. And again, baseball is that humbling game, and I know there's a lot of every sport that you play is you can equate it to life in a lot of different ways, but baseball, I feel, is the most humbling and most sport that you can relate to life with, because Ridge Linebacker, I mean, he basically does everything right except for laying the ball fair by a couple of inches, and then you strike out, and how difficult that is. But now you can't let that take you into the next at-bat or anything after that. Here's a ground ball to the left side by Stalley. That will be a tough play for the shortstop in Bubba Peterson, and it will get out into left field, and that will be a base hit for Stalley. Been a really tough play for Peterson to make deep in the hole at short, and it'll be the 6th hit of the game for the Governors, and it brings up now Cooper Twilliger that will hit for Trevor Rounds. So Twilliger, who so far has just got that one at-bat, 0 for 1 so far, and after is still recovering from that shoulder surgery, just about 100%, but being limited early on in his sophomore campaign, knowing that the future that holds for Cooper Twilliger. So he gets an at-bat here with the 10-0 lead. Slow step off and the throw to first, and Stalley standing back at the bag. Be fun to see what Twilliger, as he gets a little bit more healthy and gets back into the more swing of things, as this will be swung for a ground ball. The shortstop bobbled at short. The throw to second for 1. Back to first will not be in time. It'll go down as a fielder's choice, and there's now 2 down. And it will bring up J.J. Buckles. That will be, I believe, John Newhart that will come to the plate. Yeah, Jonathan Newhart will hit for J.J. Buckles.
Yeah, some of the guys who don't usually get a chance to start here we go.
This will be popped up. Coming in will be the center fielder, and Wentz to make the catch and retire the side here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Didn't get a chance to talk about John Newhart, but that will retire the side here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no man left on base. Govs are 3 outs away from taking game 1 if they can hold the Huron without a run. 10-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
We have a bevy of changes to tell you before we get to this top of the 5th inning, and it will be 7, 8, 9, Cooper Bischoff, Jason Schuhart, and Gabe Wallner. So we've got an entire new infield alongside Weston Northrop, who stays in the game looking for at least a 5-inning performance, but it is going to be at third is Jackson Goodman. Jaron Deal will move to short. Hudson Stosher's at second, and John Newhart is at first. First pitch swinging, ground ball to the shortstop. Deal will field. His throw to first will be just in time. A 1 pitch and 1 out as Bischoff is retired to open up the top of the 5th inning.
And for a guy who is a reserve shortstop in that instance, that was a great play by Deal and a great timely throw. That is not a throw you can make easily. You've got to be on point, perfect form, no mistake, especially with how quick you have to be. And Deal placed that one in perfectly.
Jason Schuhart to the plate. He reached on an error back in his first trip to the plate, and only trip to the plate so far. First pitch will miss for ball 1. So those are the infield changes, as we'll get you the full outfield changes here in just a moment as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This will be popped foul out of the play on the right side. The count goes now 1-1. Will Danberg is out in right. It is Porter Hunsley that is in center. and Aiden Johnson is in left. So the battery stays the same, and the other 7 guys in the field are all new for the Governors. 1-1 pitch. That one's popped up. Right side. Newharth will come in. He'll make the catch, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. And Gabe Waldner, who does have a hit, one of the 3 hits for the Huron Tigers, is now the last opportunity for Huron to reach base, and he has to reach base and come around to score for this game to continue here in this top of the 5th inning.
And think about this, John. If they retire Waldner, Huron will have gone through this entire game without getting a third at-bat from any player.
Yeah, it'll be just 2. I mean, this is the 9th man in the batting order, second time through. So that's, and we're on the other side. The Governors were almost 3 times through the batting order through 4 innings. It counts 2-0 here to Waldner.
And that just kind of tells the story of what kind of game it's been and how lopsided it's been in favor of Pierre.
2-0 pitch. That'll miss, and the count's now 3-0. That was pitch number 47 for Weston Northrup. So again, if he stays below 80, he can pitch on Saturday. If he can retire Waldner here in this at-bat, it doesn't really, I mean, it would take a 20-pitch at-bat for him not to be available on Friday already. Right. So if he gets Waldner here, that will be huge for the Governor pitching staff. 3-1 pitch. That'll miss for ball 4, so the number 9 man is on. We go back to the top of the order for Trace Wentz, who is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to right field, which was sun and shine both in the 1st and 3rd inning. But again, still plenty of opportunity here for Weston Northrup. Again, that run does mean something where you want to hold him on and make sure that he does not steal second easily, get to 3rd easily, because you can win this ball game with a 10-0 score. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1 to Trace Wentz.
Yeah, that's the most important thing for Northrup to keep in mind right now. Not only to give himself a chance to play Saturday, but you've got the game extending run at first base, so any chance you can have to take care of that, whether it be strikeout, pickoff move, whatever the case may be, mission is just get that out of the way.
Ground ball left side. That's going to get through for a base hit, and it'll be 1st and 2nd here with 2 away. And it will be now for Logan Leyendecker, who has an opportunity to try and extend the game to the bottom of the 5th inning. Base hit most likely would score Waldner, who is on at second. He'll be off with the crack of the bat.
Yeah, now you've got a problem because you've got a runner in scoring position. So this is where Pierre's defense is going to have to be on high alert, especially this is going to be an infield shot.
First pitch will miss low for ball 1. So far, Leyendecker 0 for 2. Struck out swinging back in the top of the 1st, then hit into a 1-6-3 double play after it popped off the glove of Northrup right to get to the bag. That'll miss low and inside, and the count's 2-0. If the Governors will come to the plate in the bottom of the 4th inning, or 5th inning, excuse me, it'll be Jackson Goodman, we would assume would be the first hitter, who would come in for Parker O'Brien. This will bounce in, and the count's now 3-0. Then it would go to Hudson Stosher, who is in place of Carter Schuffelbein, and Will Danberg, who is playing in right field in place of Sutton Sunshine. Now, they could have just put guys in the lineup for somebody and moved everybody around, too. So it's not really 100% sure that's exactly to be the easiest way to do it and the nicest way to us to do it, as it counts 3-1. But because there's 7 new guys in the order, you can put them anywhere you want and just move them around where you want to in defensively. Counts 3-1. That one's tapped in front of the plate. Simpson will pick it up. He's got to throw to first. It'll be cut by Newharth, and that will end the ball game. Make that a 2-3 put out to end the game. The Governors will get the win, 10-0, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Final score in game number 1. It is a 10-0 win for the Pierre Governors over the Huron Tigers. We'll come back in 2 minutes and start to wrap up our first game. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
Central South Dakota's award-winning news station is KCCR 1240 AM, 98.9 FM, K255DE Pierre, a riverfront broadcasting station.
As we welcome you back, it is a final and game number one, 10-0 for the Pierre Governors over the Huron Tigers. In an hour and 8 minutes. If you're just joining us just after 6 o'clock thinking, hey, I'm going to catch the latter half of this game, well, you've missed all of game number one. Just an hour and 8 minutes of a first game and a 10-0 win for the Governors as they got 10 runs on 6 hits, an error, and 4 left on base. Here on no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and 5 left on base. 6 runs in the first, 4 in the second. And Weston Northrup was excellent, Dylan. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, and only threw 56 pitches in those 5 innings. So he really alleviates a lot of what this Governor team is going to do over the next 5 days, 4 days really, between Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
To have now Northrup available already again on Friday. He can throw again on Friday. It puts you almost like you're playing 5 games in those days instead of 6 games overall.
Yeah, this was like the best case scenario for Pierre, was going out here, getting a dominant win, and you still have Northrup available for both Friday and Saturday, depending on what Scott Rowie wants to do. But it wasn't just the pitching. It was the offense that came back in a huge way today. We kind of kept saying, where's the offense? What happened to him over this past weekend? Well, they came out and took care of business in a big way today. He talked about it. 10-0, absolutely shellacked Huron. And really, I think it wasn't just one guy. It was a lot of different players. Everybody was able to find success. Everybody was able to usually generate some kind of offense for Pierre. Guys like Trevor Rounds really impressed me today. 3 RBIs. He had that 2 RBI single earlier on. You got Sutton Sunshine, who's been the king of generating walks this year. Went 1 for 1 from the plate and 2 walks generated. Carter Shufflebine with a great day, a hit and a run. Just a lot of great pieces to go around for Pierre in this one.
Yeah, you mentioned Rounds with those 3 RBIs. J.J. Buckle says sack fly RBI. O'Brien had grounded out for an RBI. Rich Leinbach, he hit into an air that turned into an RBI anyway. Sutton Sunshine had that RBI walk as well. So his Governor team from top to bottom, everybody reached base. That came to the plate, everybody reached base. John Newhart probably was the only guy, but only because he got 1 trip to the plate.
Of a chance,
he flew out to the center fielder in his only at-bat of the game. And Cooper Twilliger even had 1 at-bat and still ended up reaching on a fielder's choice. But really good first game win for the Pierre Governors, and they do so quickly in this Tuesday evening now, and they turn their attention to game number 2 with an opportunity of finding a way to get to get an opportunity for a sweep and get right back in that win column with those 2 wins and move into Friday, Saturday when they take on Brookings and Brandon Valley.
Yeah, right you are. And it's going to be interesting to see how they respond after that Game 1 win. After that kind of jubilant victory, that kind of domination, you can sometimes take the second game for granted. So Pierre's got to make sure to maintain that focus and maintain their strides that they made today in Game 1.
And so game number 2 will be coming up here a lot sooner than what normal game number 2. I mean, we played a 10-inning game that got, and we end up being 7:30, 8 o'clock by the time we got the second game started. We're going to get the second game started closer to 6:30 by the time that and maybe a little before 6:30 when we get started. But what we're going to do is we're going to send things back to the station. We're going to hear from News Director Zach Nelson and his 5 o'clock news. We'll hear from him. We'll end our video for game number 1, and we'll get the second game started, second game video started here in just a little bit when we get ready for our second game. But the Pierre Governors win game 1, 10-0 over the Huron Tigers. We'll come back with game 2 coming up here in just about 25 minutes or so. But we're going to hear from News Director Zach Nelson, his 5 o'clock news coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Pierre Governors take game number 1 over the Huron Tigers, 10-0.